So you're Skyquake's twin brother. I sort of see the resemblance here. I was told you knew the location of the Candyman. Care to point me in that direction? Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're taking a look at another Legacy Evolution figure. This is the last of the large ones to be last of the leader class ones, I should say, to be released. This is Dreadwing. Like Larry pointed out earlier, Dreadwing is the twin brother of Skyquake, who was reviewed considerably earlier, since he was released a lot earlier in the toy line. Skyquake appeared in the Prime series of cartoons, where he served as the captain of the Seekers on the Decepticon side, and was a master of explosives. He was somewhat better than his brother at keeping his temper in check, but like his brother, they were both fiercely loyal to Megatron. However, Skyquake also was known for being able to see the bigger picture. I mean, Dreadwing was better at seeing the bigger picture in the terms of battles. If battles were turning against him, he would consider all of his options very carefully so that he could ensure that he would fight another day, even if it meant that he had to partner up with Autobots. Megatron has often commented in that universe that Dreadwing is one of the few Decepticons that truly understands honor. In the animated series, Dreadwing here was voiced by actor Tony Todd, who also appeared in the second of the Michael Bay films, Revenge of the Fallen, where he was the voice of the Fallen. Todd has also appeared as the supernatural being in the Candyman series of films, and is also remembered for being in Michael Bay's earlier film, The Rock, where he was the mercenary that Nicolas Cage turned into the Rocket Man. But I guess the less said about that, the better. At any rate, since Dreadwing here is a copy of Skyquake, he is pretty much a retool, with some improvements, though not a lot to say. Trying to get him so he quits falling backwards, but I guess we'll just have to brace him against the wall. Dreadwing is a popular name in the Transformers universe. Dreadwing first was mentioned in the Generation 1 days as the combined form of Darkwing and Dreadwind, a pair of Power Master Decepticons. However, he would become an independent character in the Generation 2 lineup, which this version of Dreadwing seems to have matched color-wise. Now, of course, he's not a perfect 100% match to his cartoon counterpart, but if that's your thing, there are ways to adjust and modify it to make it more to your liking. Unfortunately, I'm not into that sort of thing, mainly due to how hard it is to find these guys on the shelves. So at any rate, let's take a look here at Dreadwing's accessories. If he will give it to me. Starting with his minigun, with his gun. It's not done up like a minigun like his brother's is, but it is done up as a large cannon of sorts. It still brings to mind to me, though, the M57 smart gun rifles that were used by Drake and Vasquez in the film Aliens. So I kind of like it. And of course, we also have here in the back, this trans red piece can be removed. It's just like the trans orange piece that came with Skyquake. And it can be folded outward to be a trans red sword, so that he can hold that if you would rather. There we go. Now we're getting it in. There we go. Well, the problem that I have, at least with mine, is that there isn't as much of a catch here at the front when you fold the blade out, so the blade ends up coming out sort of at a bent angle. So that just looks kind of weird in my eyes, folks. But of course, that's just my opinion. And of course, if you wanted to, you can always mount it so that he has the gun over here under his arm. And we just reattach the sword again, and then, well, there you have it. He's got a dual way to hold his weapons, and that's kind of neat. It's kind of neat, at least gives you some options, especially if you're a fan that likes to display your figures. It's nice to have a few options. And of course, one other thing to remember about the gun is that the foregrip does rotate, and you can rotate it in this position and then fold it back down, which is probably a good way to keep it if you're not going to have him hold it, so that way it doesn't pop off and break. As you can see, it is on a bit of a ball joint, so it will come off if you're not careful. Now, at any rate, let's take a look at Dreadwing's articulation. His head can turn from side to side, and it is on a ball joint, so it will look up and down. You can raise his arms up, about so far. Love that ratcheting sound. And his arms do rotate at the shoulder all the way, but you gotta get his shoulder pads out of the way, and watch out for his wings. His arms do bend at the elbow 90 degrees. And if we hold on to the arm at the shoulder, he does have a swivel at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe battle grip. He can be twisted here at his hips, so he has some dance moves going for him. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a good thigh cut. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees. Love that ratcheting in there. And you can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. So, all in all, very good posability, but it's what you would expect from a Transformer of his size. And of course, just like with his brother Skyquake, it is somewhat of a lengthy process to transform him. So we asked you to bear with us here. First thing we gotta do is we gotta take his shoulder pads and fold them up and out of our way for the moment. And then you're gonna straighten his arms out and swing them out to his sides. Love that ratcheting, what can I say? As an old school person with toys, gotta love ratcheting. That's a good sign that his arms will stay in position. At any rate, once we got his arms out like that, we come down here beneath them at his forearm, and there's a panel that'll fold out. So you will fold that outwards and fold his hands inside. Unfortunately, when they're folded out, it will not fold back in after his hands are in, so just leave them out like so. Then we're going to come back to his backside. We'll take these tail fins and we're going to fold them straight up. Then we'll take this trans red piece here, split it up down the middle so that it totally detaches. So we're going to separate it. So let's get it separated a little bit. And then make sure that his body is being able to slide upwards just like that. Then we're going to reach in here, we're going to fold up the cockpit for his plane. Come up here and adjust the shoulder pads, like so. Because we're going to start to fold them alongside. But we also need to fold this upwards a bit more. I apparently want them pointing straight up. That way we've already got them straight. And come around here and we're gonna get these rotating. Rotate them around like so. So then we'll come down here to his legs. You're going to twist them at the hip so that they face the opposite direction. And I can check these with all my instructions. Oh yeah, they want the cockpit to get down over his head. Like so. The legs should be facing the other way. Sorry, the instructions fell out of my lap here. Alright, once we've done that, we can separate the shoulders and fold the arms forward a bit. No, we got them folding in the wrong direction. We need to fold them into the back because his arms are going to connect. Or at least they are supposed to connect. Now we got to shift them at the elbow a bit inwards. And then they will be close enough to each other that they can be connected like that. Gonna shift these wings a bit out of our way so that I can get a clear sight of what we're doing. You gotta fold in the arms then, because they'll connect if they stay together, and they'll connect to a portion inside just like that. Now, of course, now that we got them in, get his body readjusted here so we can open up and fold out these tail fins on his legs. Then turn the legs at the thigh so they face each other. Fold down the feet like so. Back up here to the wings so we can get them fully adjusted to his back. Also make sure these pieces are rotated. Keep the small fins up. They like to fold inward like that. And then we're going to fold the wings up so that way we can adjust. Yeah, the legs folded the wrong way and you need to face this way. Because then we're going to fold them up at the knee so they come up and lock into place. All right. And of course, once we've got them in, then we got to rotate them again. And yet we still got it the wrong way. Won't make this easy, do they? I notice that because these are the landing gear. Come on. Something's not right here, folks. Excuse me. Okay, we figured out what part of my problem was. The one leg didn't rotate properly so that the hinge was in the right position. So a little bit the design, a little bit the bad design of this toy, a little bit my own fault. Alright, once we got that all into position, we get the wing unit here all connected up. The wings should then fold down onto his legs. You'll see there's a post here under the wing right there, and it should line up with this hole here on his leg. That'll help hold everything in place. There we go. Just snaps in nice and neat. Get the tail fin adjusted. Then we can bring this piece up. Get it locked into position. Fold up the nose of the airplane. Get the shoulder pads adjusted and attached. And then we can bring out, make sure the tail fins are up. And then, of course, down here we got the back landing gear. We'll get that down so that way we can set him down and readjust the camera. And there we have it. He's in his alternate form of an unknown jet. There's a way to attach the weapon to him. So we will do that real quick like. Just reattach the sword inside the gun. And then the gun can be mounted down here on this center hole. And there we have it. He's got his gun mounted in. And of course, like his brother Skyquake, you can fold those fins down. And if you happen to have needle nose can be attached onto the back. Just line up the holes with those posts. Come on, needle nose, cooperate. And there we have it. Get a nice dual jet look there. Still looks rather silly, especially since they're not from the same universe, but it's another play feature. And in a lot of ways, we'll take added play features. Now we get to my thoughts. Despite my difficulty in transforming him, I do like Dreadwing. As a character, he is a rather interesting one, and again, it also shows that the Decepticons are not totally evil. as we were treated to being subjected to in the 1980s cartoon mainly, and also in the live-action films. There are some honorable warriors amongst the Decepticons, and this version of Dreadwing is one of them. The toy itself, well, it's like Skyquake, and Skyquake was a bit of a pain to handle and manipulate, so that's carried over on this toy as well. They did make some improvement features, but again, it's rather minimal. But all in all, it's still not too terribly bad of a toy. It is a little interesting they carried over the added play feature, despite the fact that Needlenose is no longer on the shelves, so hopefully any of you that would like to do this, you've got one already, because the color schemes between Needlenose and Dreadwing kind of go well together. Not perfectly, but they do go rather well together. A little bit more than what they did with Skyquake. At any rate, that's my review of the Prime Universe version of Dreadwing in Legacy Evolution. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you like the content we feature here on this channel, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, next month, as we go into February, we're still going to look at some more Legacy Evolution figures. I don't quite have all of them yet, but we do have enough to go through another month. So, we're going to get those done, since the next round of Legacy should be appearing any time now. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.